can't touch this.
Welcome to the 90s.
You can't touch this.
The decade when technology got
You
smaller
can't touch this.
and music was changed forever.
You can't touch this.
But we'll get there later. Let's begin with some important things. President Clinton. Elected in 1993, served for 2 terms, and was a pretty great president until this happened.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Nice going, Bill. He lied to his country about a scandal he had with Monica Lewinsky. This embarrassed America so much. He was almost impeached, but the Senate acquitted him. Cloning Dolly. Created in 1997 as the first mammal cloned from an adult cell. She lived for 6 years and became one of the most famous sheep ever. Magic Johnson. He was the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. He was amazing at basketball. But then, in 1991, he announced that he has an HIV virus from relations that he had during the season, so he immediately retired.
Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers.
This was a pretty sad day in basketball history. But don't worry.
Gonna make a change.
Johnson dedicated his time to raise awareness of this virus in schools, churches, and colleges everywhere. He was also a role model for others everywhere in America who had the same virus. John Glenn's last trip. John Glenn was one of the first 3 people to orbit the Earth in 1962. But sadly, during the trip, he was always strapped to his chair and never experienced weightlessness. But 35 years later, he set out again to orbit. This orbiting he was a part of helped scientists understand the effect on the elderly that space travel had. Oklahoma bombing 1995.
Confirmed through federal authorities that a second bomb has been found inside that federal building in Oklahoma City. It was an explosion at 9 o'clock this morning that did that damage you're looking at right there, blowing off the entire north face of that building.
This was the worst bombing attack the country had ever seen before 9/11. Hurricane Andrew. Andrew hit the state of Florida, that's south of Miami, southwest Louisiana, and northwest Bahamas. It was a Category 5 hurricane. It cost over $34 billion in repairs and caused 65 deaths. So because of this, our country lost lots of lives and had to pay a lot of money for damages. The Columbine High School Massacre. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold embarked on a massacre in their school. This massacre killed 12 students and 1 teacher. Right after the event, the 2 boys then committed suicide. This was the 4th deadliest school massacre in the U.S. This event questioned the gun control laws in the U.S. as well as the school security laws in the U.S. First female Secretary of State, Madeleine Corbell Albright. She was appointed by Bill Clinton and then confirmed by the Senate. She was sworn in on January 23, 1997. She is multilingual and has a PhD from Columbia University. Proved that women in America can have a political part. The World Wide Web. Defined as a system of interlinked hypertext documents. Swept the nation in 1990. Giving people instant information at their fingertips. You can communicate faster and easier than ever with the World Wide Web. Africanized honeybees first enter U.S. These bees escaped from Brazil in 1957 but were just discovered in the US in 1990 in Texas. They spread all across the Southwest, and they were nicknamed the killer bees because of their deadly sting. And once you get one bee annoyed, the whole colony of bees stays annoyed and deadly for about a day. These bees colonized in the Texas area and swarmed those areas often, killing or injuring people very badly. This drove people away from that area because of the bees. The bees also cut down the amount of honey that was being made because humans didn't want to get too close and risk their lives. Some popular TV shows were Saved by the Bell, Friends, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, That 70s Show, and Seinfeld. Some music you would hear would be
My fire, the one desire. Give me the music. Does he love me? I wanna know. How can I tell?
The impact the 90s has made on future generations is all the new technology as well as the new discoveries this country has made, like the cell phone, the World Wide Web, and the computer, and so much more. This has led us to becoming a country full of new and advanced technology. Also, everything that happened in the 90s has affected us. For example, Magic Johnson getting an HIV has helped people realize that a virus like that could happen to anyone. Things like this and so much more have impacted future generations for the better from the 90s.